The hottest days of summer can be tough on a garden. One week your flower beds are bursting with color, and the next, intense heat leaves blooms wilting, leaves drying out, and many plants struggling to survive. Fortunately, some flowers actually thrive in these harsh conditions. Instead of fading in the sun, they continue blooming through extreme heat, drought, and long summer days. In this video, we'll explore 7 incredible flowers that love full sun and high temperatures. These tough bloomers keep producing vibrant color with very little maintenance, and some even perform better when the weather gets hotter. If you're tired of replacing heat-stressed flowers every summer, these resilient plants could completely transform your garden. 1. Zinnias. Few flowers represent summer better than zinnias. These vibrant annuals seem to become even more beautiful as temperatures rise, producing wave after wave of colorful blooms, while many other flowers begin to fade. During long heat waves, zinnias continue thriving, filling gardens with brilliant color from early summer until frost. One of their biggest advantages is their incredible diversity. They come in nearly every shade imaginable, including red, orange, yellow, pink, purple, white, and even green. Some varieties stay compact and perfect for borders, while others produce tall stems topped with large, impressive blooms. Even an entire flower bed planted only with zinnias can look wonderfully varied. Their exceptional heat tolerance comes naturally. Native to Mexico and the southwestern United States, zinnias evolved under strong sunshine and dry conditions. As a result, they feel right at home during the hottest weeks of summer, when many other flowering plants begin to struggle. Another reason gardeners love them is their fast growth. Seeds sown after the last frost quickly develop into healthy plants that bloom continuously for months, providing reliable color throughout the season. Zinnias are also magnets for pollinators. Butterflies, bees, and other beneficial insects visit the flowers constantly, bringing movement and life to the garden while helping support nearby plants. They're equally popular as cut flowers. Regular harvesting actually encourages the plants to produce even more blooms, allowing you to enjoy fresh bouquets indoors without reducing the colorful display outside. For the best performance, grow zinnias in full sun with well-drained soil. Once established, they tolerate dry periods surprisingly well, although occasional deep watering helps produce larger flowers and healthier growth. Giving the plants enough space also improves air circulation and helps reduce problems with powdery mildew during humid weather. Bright, cheerful, and incredibly dependable, zinnias continue flowering long after many other annuals have faded, making them one of the finest choices for hot summer gardens. 2. Portulaca. Portulaca may have delicate-looking flowers, but it's one of the toughest heat-loving plants you can grow. Also known as moss rose, it produces brilliant blooms in shades of pink, orange, yellow, red, and white that resemble tiny roses. Yet it's built to survive some of the harshest garden conditions. This resilient plant thrives where many flowers fail. It loves blazing sunshine, poor soil, drought, and extreme summer heat. In fact, too much watering is usually far more harmful than occasional neglect. Its secret lies in its succulent foliage. The thick, fleshy leaves store water, allowing the plant to remain healthy through extended dry periods. Even when neighboring flowers begin wilting from the heat, Portulaca often continues blooming without slowing down. Because of its remarkable toughness, it's perfect for rock gardens, containers, sunny borders, gravel beds, and areas exposed to intense reflected heat. Places that seem impossible for other flowers often become ideal growing locations for Portulaca. One of its most charming characteristics is the way the flowers respond to sunlight. On bright sunny days, the blooms open wide to display their vivid colors. As evening approaches or clouds cover the sky, many flowers gently close until the sunshine returns. Its low-growing, spreading habit creates colorful carpets of blooms that work beautifully in hanging baskets, window boxes, edging, and as a flowering ground cover. Although it's incredibly hardy, Portulaca never loses its elegant appearance. Many modern varieties produce double flowers that closely resemble miniature roses, while the bright petals almost sparkle under direct sunlight. Maintenance couldn't be much easier. Portulaca requires very little water, almost no fertilizer, and rarely needs pruning. Simply provide full sun and fast-draining soil, and it usually takes care of itself. The plant also experiences relatively few pest or disease problems. Since it naturally prefers dry conditions, fungal diseases are uncommon, and many insects simply leave it alone. Perhaps its greatest quality is that it reaches peak performance during the hottest part of summer. While many flowering plants slow down under extreme heat, Portulaca often looks more spectacular than ever. 3. Lantana. If any flower truly enjoys extreme summer heat, it's lantana. Rather than merely surviving high temperatures, lantana seems to become even more vigorous as the weather grows hotter. In some of the warmest climates in the world, it flowers continuously for months with very little care, while many other plants struggle. Its incredible durability is one of its greatest strengths. Dry soil, blazing afternoon sun, reflected heat from pavement, and extended drought rarely affect its performance. Many gardeners actually believe lantana reaches its peak beauty during the hottest weeks of the year. Its flower clusters are especially striking. Dozens of tiny blossoms form rounded heads bursting with bright colors. Many varieties display several colors at once because the flowers gradually change shades as they mature. A single cluster may include yellow, orange, coral, pink, and red blooms, creating a stunning sunset effect. Some varieties offer soft pastel colors, while others feature brilliant tropical shades that immediately attract attention. Whatever the color, lantana quickly becomes the centerpiece of any sunny flower bed. Another reason it's so popular is its exceptionally long blooming season. In warm regions, lantana flowers continuously from spring until frost, and in tropical climates, it may bloom almost year-round. Butterflies absolutely love lantana. Bees visit the flowers throughout the day, hummingbirds stop to feed, and countless pollinators gather around the colorful blooms, making the plant one of the liveliest spots in the garden. Native to tropical and subtropical regions, lantana naturally thrives in full sun. Once established, its deep root system allows it to tolerate prolonged drought by accessing moisture hidden deep below the soil surface. This remarkable toughness explains why landscapers often plant lantana along roadsides, parking lots, traffic medians, and other harsh public spaces where many flowering plants fail. Both upright and trailing varieties are available. Upright forms develop into compact flowering shrubs, while trailing types spill beautifully over containers, hanging baskets, and retaining walls. Lantana is also naturally resistant to many common pests and diseases. Its aromatic foliage discourages numerous insects, and deer typically leave it untouched, making it an excellent low-maintenance choice. Perhaps most impressive is its ability to recover quickly. Even after severe drought, a deep watering often restores vigorous growth within just a few days. Despite its exceptional toughness, lantana never loses its lush tropical appearance. Its colorful flower clusters continue brightening the landscape throughout the hottest months of the year, proving that some plants truly perform best when summer is at its most extreme. 4. Coneflower. Coneflowers are the perfect example of a plant that combines beauty with incredible durability. Their large daisy-like flowers with raised central cones have made them a favorite in sunny gardens. But beneath their elegant appearance lies one of the toughest perennials you can grow. They handle scorching temperatures, dry soil, strong winds, and poor growing conditions with remarkable ease. Their impressive resilience comes from their natural habitat. Native to the open prairies of North America, coneflowers evolved under blazing sunshine, unpredictable rainfall, and vast exposed landscapes. These demanding conditions shape them into plants that continue thriving when many others begin to struggle. One of their greatest strengths is their deep root system. Mature plants are able to reach moisture hidden far below the soil surface, allowing them to keep producing flowers during long dry spells when neighboring plants may begin to wilt. Even through intense summer heat, coneflowers remain reliable performers. While delicate flowers often stop blooming during heat waves, coneflowers continue producing fresh blossoms beneath the hottest summer sun. Although the traditional purple coneflower is still a favorite, modern breeding has introduced an incredible range of colors. Gardeners can now choose from white, yellow, orange, coral, pink, red, lime green, and rich sunset shades that brighten the landscape throughout summer. The flowers themselves also vary greatly. Some feature long, gracefully drooping petals that create a natural prairie look, while others produce fuller blooms with double centers that hardly resemble traditional coneflowers at all. Coneflowers are also among the best plants for supporting wildlife. Bees gather pollen from the raised centers, butterflies regularly visit the blooms, and after flowering ends, birds feed on the nutritious seeds. Goldfinches are especially fond of the seed heads during autumn, adding even more life to the garden long after the flowers have faded. Maintenance is refreshingly simple. Strong stems rarely require staking, even during windy weather, and the plants naturally resist many common pests and diseases. Deer and rabbits generally leave them alone as well. Whether planted in pollinator gardens, prairie landscapes, cottage gardens, wildflower meadows, or mixed perennial borders, coneflowers fit beautifully into almost any design. Even after flowering finishes, the seed heads continue adding texture and structure throughout autumn and winter. Frost-covered stems create stunning winter displays while providing valuable food for birds. Perhaps their greatest quality is their reliability. Year after year, coneflowers return stronger than before, proving that true garden beauty often comes from plants that quietly withstand whatever nature throws at them. 5. Blanket flower. Blanket flower brings some of the brightest colors you'll ever see in a summer garden. Its cheerful blooms combine fiery shades of red, orange, yellow, and gold, creating flowers that resemble glowing sunsets. As beautiful as they are, these plants are also perfectly adapted to hot, dry conditions and often perform best during the warmest months of the year. Also known as Gaillardia, blanket flower naturally grows across the prairies and dry regions of North America, where it evolved under blazing sunshine, poor soil, and limited rainfall. Because of this heritage, it tolerates extreme heat far better than many traditional garden flowers. One of its biggest advantages is its exceptionally long flowering season. Rather than blooming briefly, blanket flowers continue producing fresh blossoms from early summer until the first frost, filling the garden with continuous color for months. Once established, they require surprisingly little water. In fact, they often perform better in sandy, well-drained soil than in rich, heavily fertilized garden beds. Too much moisture can actually reduce their vigor and flowering. The colorful daisy-like blooms dance gently above slender stems, adding movement and a relaxed, meadow-like appearance to borders and flower beds. Even a light breeze brings the planting to life. Blanket flowers are also excellent for pollinators. Bees visit constantly in search of nectar and pollen, while butterflies frequently stop to feed throughout the blooming season. Another reason gardeners appreciate them is their ability to thrive in difficult locations. Gravel gardens, rocky slopes, roadside plantings, and areas exposed to intense reflected heat are all places where blanket flowers continue growing successfully. They also resist browsing by deer and rabbits much better than many softer flowering plants. Combined with ornamental grasses and other drought-tolerant perennials, blanket flowers create colorful, natural-looking landscapes that remain attractive with very little maintenance. Perhaps most impressive is their response to harsh weather. Instead of slowing down during heat waves, they often bloom even more enthusiastically, proving that some flowers truly love the hottest days of summer. 6. Vinca. Some flowers simply refuse to let summer heat affect them, and vinca is one of the best examples. Also known as Madagascar periwinkle, this dependable annual thrives in blazing sunshine, high humidity, drought, and extreme temperatures that cause many other bedding plants to decline. Its cheerful flowers appear in shades of white, pink, red, lavender, purple, and beautiful two-tone combinations. Against the glossy, dark green foliage, the blooms remain bright and fresh-looking, even during the hottest weeks of the season. One of vinca's greatest strengths is its consistency. Instead of producing one heavy flush of flowers before slowing down, it blooms continuously for months. Through heat waves, dry spells, and humid weather, new flowers keep appearing with almost no effort from the gardener. This dependable performance makes vinca especially valuable in warm southern climates, where high temperatures often persist both day and night. Under these conditions, it frequently outperforms many other popular annual flowers. Gardeners also appreciate its excellent disease resistance. While some bedding plants become weak or develop fungal problems during hot, humid weather, vinca usually stays compact, healthy, and vigorous. Its versatility adds even more appeal. Vinca performs beautifully in flower beds, borders, containers, window boxes, hanging baskets, and large mass plantings where its steady flowering creates vibrant displays throughout the season. One important tip is to wait until the soil has warmed before planting. Vinca prefers warm conditions from the very beginning, And once summer arrives, growth accelerates rapidly as flowering becomes increasingly abundant. Its thick, waxy leaves also help reduce moisture loss, allowing the plant to tolerate drought surprisingly well. Even after extended dry periods, vinca often recovers quickly once watered. Perhaps most remarkable is its polished appearance. Even during long stretches of scorching weather, the glossy foliage stays lush, while the flowers continue blooming almost as if the heat doesn't exist. 7. Black-eyed Susan. Few flowers capture the spirit of summer quite like black-eyed Susan. With brilliant golden yellow petals surrounding a dark central cone, these cheerful wildflowers brighten every landscape they inhabit. Although they appear delicate, they are among the toughest perennials available for sunny gardens. Native to the open prairies and meadows of North America, black-eyed Susans naturally evolved under constant sunshine, periodic drought, and challenging growing conditions. Those origins gave them exceptional resilience that continues to impress gardeners today. Once established, they thrive in full sun and tolerate dry soil with ease. While many flowering plants begin fading during prolonged heat, black-eyed Susans often continue blooming long into late summer. Their versatility is another major advantage. They fit perfectly into cottage gardens, prairie plantings, pollinator gardens, naturalized meadows, and even formal perennial borders. Wherever they're planted, their glowing flowers bring warmth and cheerful color. Wildlife benefits greatly from these plants as well. Bees collect pollen from the flowers throughout summer. Butterflies visit regularly, and after flowering ends, birds feed on the nutritious seeds that remain through autumn. Gardeners value them for their reliability as much as their beauty. They require very little maintenance, return faithfully year after year, and slowly form larger clumps without becoming invasive or difficult to control. Strong stems allow the flowers to remain upright through heavy rain, wind, and intense summer heat, helping them maintain their attractive appearance even during challenging weather. Black-eyed Susans pair beautifully with ornamental grasses, coneflowers, blanket flowers, and other prairie plants, creating landscapes filled with movement, texture, and long-lasting color. One of their most impressive qualities is that they often reach their peak during the hottest part of summer. While many flowers begin looking tired by midsummer, black-eyed Susans seem to glow brighter than ever, covering the garden with cheerful golden blooms. Together, these 7 heat-loving flowers prove that summer doesn't have to be difficult for gardeners. With resilient plants like zinnias, portulaca, lantana, coneflowers, blanket flowers, vinca, and black-eyed Susans, even the hottest days of the year can become the most colorful part of the gardening season.